Alright students, we're going to start talking about graphing cosine in this video. If you're in School Loop, the homework is on the calendar. It's the cosine graph, homework number 2. It's not the second homework, it's the second graphing homework. That's why we named it that. If you click on the link, it should pull you up the assignment. And we did number 1 together in class with Desmos. 2 and 3 are very similar to that. We're going to jump down. I want to focus a little bit on these ones. Okay, you'll need to have number 4, and you should have number 4 already done from class. But we'll need that to refer to in order to do the other ones. Now, our method is going to be exactly the same as what we did for sine. So if that sine homework made sense, this is going to be very, very similar. Okay, so here we go. Here's our cosine graph that we're going to do. On the side here, though, we'll just put our parent function, regular cosine of x. And again, this starts high and ends high. It does that from 0 to 2 pi. That's the critical part. Okay? The midline of that is pi. Now, we spent a couple days establishing all that. So if you weren't here for those, you'll want to look that up in a separate video or stop by and we'll do that separately. But basically it's the same cycle as sine from 0 to 2 pi. So the middle would be pi. The midpoint of those two would be pi over 2. And then between 1 and 2 is 1.5 or 3/2. Okay. So what we're going to do with this one is we're going to do the same sort of thing. Set that up. Same sort of thing we did with sine. It used to go from 0 to 2 pi. And what we need to find are what are our new points. So the new start, we take what we have inside, 2x minus pi, set it equal to, oops, move that over so you can see it. 2x minus pi equals 0. The new end, set it equal to 2 pi. So what we're doing is whatever they give you inside, set it equal to 0, that will find out where our 0 got shifted to. Set it equal to 2 pi, that will find out where 2 pi got shifted to. And if we solve this, go plus pi, 2x equals pi, so x equals pi divided by 2. There we go. On this side, 2x, if we add pi to both sides, we get 3 pi, so x equals 3 pi divided by 2. Alright. So it goes from pi over 2 to 3 pi over 2. We could probably figure out the middle of this. This is like 1/2, this is like 3/2. The middle of 1/2 and 3/2 would be 2/2, or 1 pi. Let's just double check. We know the original was pi. Now did it stay at pi? Well, see, that's kind of weird. The endpoint's shifted, but it looks like the midpoint might not have shifted. So the middle, 2x minus pi, equals pi. If we solve this, we get plus pi, 2x equals 2 pi, so yes, x equals just pi. Okay, so that's kind of weird, and that's what I was saying. We had 1/2 pi, 3/2, so 1/2 and 3/2, the middle would be 2/2, or just pi. So what does that mean for us? What it means is our curve still looks the same. There's the general cosine curve. Curving down right here. Anyways, instead of 0, it now starts at pi over 2, and it finishes by 3 pi over 2, and the middle is just pi. Alright. Now, we could do some more work. We need to do some more work to find these 2 points. There's 2 ways to go about this. You could set it equal to what it was before and just do the algebra, or I like to do some fractions. Okay. So this is 1/2. This was 3/2. This is 2/2. Well, in between halves, we're going to have quarters. Whoops, let's scoot that up so you can see it. There we go. Because 2/2, 2 over 2 is the same as 1, 1/2. We're just stripping out the pi's. So what we got here, let's break this down into fourths. This is the same as 2/4. This is the same as 6/4. Alrighty. And this was the same as 4/4. And if you think about that, this should make sense. You got 2/4, 4/4, Make sure this focuses here. Sorry, guys. Hopefully you can read that. 2 fourths, 4 fourths, and 6 fourths. In the middle then would be 3 fourths and 5 fourths. Again, it's not obvious from pi over 2 that it's going to be 3 fourths, but what it is pi over 2 is 1/2, and 1/2 is 2 fourths. This is 1 or 4 fourths, so in between 2 fourths and 4 fourths, in between 2 and 4 is 3 fourths. And the same thing works out here. And you can do that every single time. See if you can find your common denominator, and from there, it's just fourths. So 4 fourths, 5 fourths, 6 fourths. The next point would be 7 fourths. The next point would be 8 fourths. But 8 fourths is 2 pi. 9 fourths. And you can keep on going as far as you want. Okay, just keep on adding a fourth. Just adding a fourth, adding a fourth, adding a fourth. So that's how you can go from cosine for as long as you want. And again, one cycle is from the high point to the high point. So that right there is one cycle. And like I said, once we do the algebra up here, we're really not even doing trigonometry anymore. It's just a lot of algebra and fractions. So try that out. Hopefully that helps. And bring lots of questions back tomorrow, and we'll go from there. All right, have a great afternoon, everyone.